If you want to become a better leader in just short amount of time, then subscribe to Raj Shamani Clips channel. Here you get all the leadership lessons in short time. You were the first generation entrepreneur in the real estate business, right? और ये बहुत difficult होता है. Usually जितना मैंने देखा है सुना है, ऐसा होता है कि सारे family wealthy businesses जो होते हैं या wealthy business owners होते हैं, उनके किड्स या उनके ग्रैंडसन्स या उनकी ग्रैंड डॉटर्स ही कंटिन्यू करती है बिजनेस. एंड रियल एस्टेट इज़ अ वेरी फैमिली ड्रिवन बिकॉज बहुत कैपिटल इंटेंसिव होता है, बहुत एक्सपीरियंस इंटेंसिव होता है, एंड देयर आर लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ प्रेशर्स जिसको तुम्हें डील करना पड़ता है इफ यू आर इन अ रियल एस्टेट बिजनेस. सो हाउ एंड व्हाई रियल एस्टेट इन द बिगिनिंग?
It's a long story actually. When I was young, my father, doctor, ENT specialist, Padma Bhushan, Dhanvantri Award winner, my elder brother who was 10 years older to me, also studying to be a doctor. When I looked up to him, I was quite afraid. My God, they work so hard in their lives. I didn't want to work so hard. So I wanted to take a little easy. So I took up commerce. I did my BCom. And arts was not my subject. Maybe I found that easier, but I was not cut out for art. So I took up commerce as a default. And but once I entered college, there was always the thing to look up to in terms of my father was so iconic. I couldn't be a failure in my commerce. So I did study in the last year, and I stood second in the University of Mumbai. But I was always keen on doing business because my father had lots of patients who were very eminent businessmen. The Mafatlals, the Birlas, the Tatas, the Mahindras, all these senior people were my father's patients.
Okay.
And I always looked up to them. I said, my God, look at them, iconic people. So I wanted to be something like that.
Iconic.
I didn't know what it was and what it meant to do the business of business, because in our family we hardly ever discussed the issue of business. We didn't know the B of business. Anyway, after BCom, my father persuaded me to do my CA also. I did. I was a teacher for a year in the Institute of Chartered Accountants. And I started with a textile factory in Charkop, Kandivali. And this was done because I also articled 2 years during my commerce career to work in Gwalior and Century Mills. And so I thought I will do that. And we got into power looms, and I started with almost 200 power looms there. And we did a little dabbling in real estate. Over a period of time, both the businesses were doing badly. I almost failed in both. I had to sell one business, didn't know what to sell. This story happened that I got a notice from the union of my Palum factory asking for 100% increase in wages.
Okay.
I said, 100% increase in wages? कुछ वो
जीरो में
मिस्टेक होगा, कुछ एक जीरो ज़्यादा आ गया. तो बोले नहीं हमको 100%, क्योंकि the mills and all that used to charge more, and we worked on the arbitrage of labor costs. Anyway, that persuaded me that I could sell my factory, which was this thing, and I got in full-fledged into real estate. Then I realized that now that I have failed and I'm gone into real estate, I can't now afford to fail, because my father and brother are all professionally doing very well. मुझे भी तो successful होना ही है, कुछ तो करना चाहिए. So got into real estate with small capital, hardly 10 lakhs of rupees, less than 10 lakhs of rupees, and started very small, extension of a building and other things. Rest is history.
Let's elaborate history now. Okay, before we actually talk more about real estate, एक बात बताओ, बहुत classic, YouTube पे एक debate चलती है, ठीक है, about rent versus buy. I want to know it from you कि in Mumbai or in metro cities, this is a trend now picking up. Especially a lot of YouTubers or let's say CAs online are coming and being क्योंकि अगर तुम मैथ करोगे, सो रेंट करना इज़ मोर बेनिफिशियल फॉर यू इन द लॉन्ग रन देन बाइंग अ हाउस, बिकॉज पीपल यूजुअली से कि आप बैंक में रखोगे पैसा तो आपको 6 से 7% मिलेगा, आप खुद का घर रखोगे जितना बड़ा होगा वो 2 से 3% में आपको रेंट मिल जाएगा. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक, बाइंग और रेंटिंग, व्हिच इज़ बेटर?
कैन आई गिव अ लिटिल लॉन्गर स्टोरी?
100%.
रोटी कपड़ा मकान. रोटी के लिए कपड़ा के लिए, मकान के लिए आपको लाइफ में इंश्योरेंस करने की ज़रूरत पड़ती है, क्योंकि हमारे देश में अब तक सोशल सिक्योरिटी नहीं है। जो किराए पर लेते हैं, एक ज़माना आ सकता है जब आप किराया अफोर्ड नहीं कर पाएंगे, बिकॉज किराया बढ़ते जाएगा, सिचुएशन चेंज होते जाएगा और आपकी अफोर्डेबिलिटी नहीं है। आप घर खरीदेंगे तो आज की तारीख में आपको अभी 8% हो गया है लोन का ब्याज। अर्लियर इट वाज 6.5%. इफ यू बॉट दैट हाउस एंड पेड इंस्टॉलमेंट्स, आपको इनकम टैक्स में भी रिबेट मिल जाता है और आपका घर बन जाता है विद अ टैक्स बेनिफिट दैट यू गेट. सो अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ सोशल सिक्योरिटी ऑफ गेटिंग अ मिनिमम हाउस इज इम्पेरेटिव फॉर एवरी इंडियन टू डू इफ ही कैन अफोर्ड इट. सेकेंड, yes, रेंटल पर देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग विद रेंटल, देयर हैज टू बी रेंटल. आज मेरे पास मकान मुंबई में है, मुझे नौकरी बैंगलोर में मिलती है, तो मैं वहां जाके किराए पर ही लूंगा. ये किराए पर हम दे सकते हैं. लेकिन इट इज माई रिकमेंडेशन दैट एवरी पर्सन इन इंडिया मस्ट ट्राई विद इन हिज कैपेसिटी टू बी अ हाउस. Today, home loans are available to most of the people at very, very economical rates as compared to any other rate in the marketplace. The home loans are available and it is recommended you buy. Buy a small house, buy a studio apartment, buy a 1-bedroom. Whatever you can afford, buy it. It doesn't matter. So that social security is available to you in a lifetime. आपका नौकरी चले जाए, नुकसान हो जाए, कुछ भी हो जाए. However, not everybody can afford a rental house in a place where you have got work.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong in rental. So world over, you have people who buy houses and there are people who rent it. दोनों ठीक है, लेकिन my recommendation to every person is that you must buy your house, even if it is small, even if it is in your home place or wherever it is, but always buy it. That capital creation you can never create in any other business.
So that, okay, capital creation पे बात करते हैं, okay? Because so
Yeah.
first is you said buy versus rent. The debate is, let's say, technically not worthy enough to discuss क्योंकि the point is not logic, the point is security.
Yes.
Like it's not.
So you must get your security. After you have your security, you rent out. Doesn't matter. You don't even have to stay in the house you stayed. I mean, you bought. You can buy a house in A place and rent out in some other B place, but at least you have a security of house. कोविड के समय पर कितने लोग जो किराए पर रहते थे, societies were not allowing other relatives to come to stay with you, and people like that. So if parents were staying in a house and suddenly there additional people came, societies were objecting. So there were a lot of problems as far as this is concerned. Number two, जो हुआ है, which has happened, is that people are now wanting bigger and better houses post-COVID.
Yeah.
So it's not only the rent versus buy. It is buy and buy a bigger house than what you actually need. वो बोलते हैं ना need based. पहले क्या था, मुझे इतना ही खरीदना है. अभी लोग थोड़ा, उनको कैपेसिटी हो तो थोड़ा बड़ा भी खरीदते हैं.
And that's I think that's overall not just in real estate, that's the whole India sentiment now. कि हर किसी को अब थोड़ा सा बड़ा चाहिए, बिगर लाइफस्टाइल चाहिए. They want the aspiration class is getting bigger.
Oh, the aspiration class is getting bigger everywhere. So if you go to the mall, you'll find that people want a bigger and better. You go and see cars being sold, they want little bigger and better. So in all fields of activity, thanks to the growth and GDP growth, income levels which have improved, and people wanting to spend. पहले एक था कि फ्यूचर में क्या होगा, तो बचाओ पैसे बचा लो. अब बचाना तो है ही, लेकिन खर्चा भी करना है. आज को भी हम मौज मस्ती कर लें, तो कुछ आज खर्चा कर दें, कुछ सेविंग कर दें.
Thank you so much for watching this episode till the end. For more such clips, please subscribe to Raj Shamani Clips channel, because here we get India's top leaders to help you become a better leader for tomorrow.